It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by Les Championnats U-Sport, une présentation de Fox 40, title partner of the U-Sports Coach of the Year Awards, fier partenaire des prix des entraîneurs de l'année U-Sport, Veriburn Medical Supply, exclusive sports medicine and medical supply partner of U-Sports, le partenaire exclusif de U-Sport en matière de médecine sportive et des fournitures médicales. Nike Team, exclusive performance apparel provider, just do it, fier partenaire de U-Sport, faites-le. Baron, exclusive championship rings and recognition jewelry provider to U-Sports, le fournisseur officiel des bagues et bijoux commémoratifs des championnats U-Sport. Sport Canada, funding partners of U-Sports. Sport Canada, partenaire financier de U-Sport. This U-Sports Championship on CBC is presented by Sport Canada, funding partners of U-Sports. Ce reportage est une présentation de Sport Canada, partenaire financier de U-Sport.
Welcome to the final and fourth game of the 2022 Women's National Youth Sport Championships live on CBC Sports. My name is Robin MacDougall, joined by Lauren Bonds. Lauren Bonds, originally from Ontario, has moved to the island last year to pursue coaching and rugby. She knows a number of these girls, and this is the game we've been waiting for all day, Lauren.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting game. I think Queens and UVic are going to be a really tight matchup. They're pretty similar style teams, so we'll see how they go with each other today. Robin, what are you most excited about for this game?
Oh, I'm so excited. What the best part about today is watching teams that I don't get to watch all the time. I've been to almost every Can West game this year in person. Haven't been traveling as much, which has been great, and there's just so much talent. And a lot of this age category for Canadian women, they've come out of a pandemic year two here, and they are firing. And there's a reason why our senior Canadian women's 15s team are competing in the top four at the Rugby 15s World Cup later this weekend, and it's because of these university programs across Canada. You know, we got two class university coaches here. Dan Valley, reigning national champion. You got Brittany Waters in her 8th season, former Vike alumni. She was here when I was here as a player myself, and she's built up her program from the ground up and taken it into the future. She's put a number of athletes into the national 7s and 15s programs. And you know, although UVic is coming in 8th round as a host university, arguably they'd be, you know, a top 4 team. So it's really anybody's game tonight. We got some home ice advantage. We've got a stadium that's filling up here in Centennial in the heart of the University of Victoria, and we got a chilly night. But although it's cold, Lauren, for some reason it's not raining sideways, so it's really anybody's game.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. On UVic's side, Robin, who are some players to watch out for, do you think?
Same as Queens, honestly, like 1 to 25. Both these teams are slammed. Credit to the girls that aren't on the field. Some of them for UVic are in the stands. Queens, some of them are at home. They got lots of depth, lots of power, but you know, UVic, you know, what's really exciting for UVic is they have like up-and-coming stars. Chrissy Scurfield, the Canmore sensation, Lucy Romeo, and Carissa Norston. So those 3 girls 2 of them are 18, one of them is 19, going against players like Carmen Isaac, Magdalene Harvey, former national team and 2014 World Rugby Player of the Year after the 2014 World Cup. And so there's so much depth, and a big welcome back to the West Coast from Maggie Banks. Obviously, her parents both played for Canada, and she's born and raised in Coquitlam in the COQ. Went to school at Shawnigan Lake School here just up island, and I talked to her yesterday at her practice, and I just said, how does it feel to be back on the coast, full circle, as in her prime, helping lead her team at a national championship? She couldn't be more excited to have her family and friends here. So look for Maggie Banks to lead from the front, and from UVic, I mean, they have some stalwarts up front as well. We got girls from across the country, so looking forward to an action-packed game.
Magdalene Harvey's going to do the honors of kicking us off tonight.
Magdalene Harvey kicks deep to the right. Well taken. Both teams are going to want to settle into here. Number 9 for UVic, Justine Blas-Jamais. I'm working my French accent tonight, Lauren, after being all fired up, cheering on Laval today in their early quarterfinal match. Alexi Push from Alberta pushes it deep into the Queen's end. Experienced Carmen Isaac collects, takes contact to be greeted by Waldheim Saskatchewan's Carissa Norston. Carissa Norston was the freshman Canada West Rookie of the Year. Bit of back and forth here. It's going to be a bit of a boxing match, I think, in the first 5-10 minutes. Krista Norston takes the ball. Tries an out to back from Chrissy Skirfield, but the referee is going to go back to the first knock-on. It's going to be Vikes ball on the 40, right to left. I was saying earlier, Lauren, that normally these West Coast teams, University of Victoria and Thunderbirds, have a bit of an advantage because it's typically raining 24/7 this time of year. But we've had a late summer and a late fall, and we've only had a few days of rain. So none of these teams on the coast have actually had much time in the rain. So everybody, it's an even playing field.
Absolutely.
Collapse scrum there. Hopefully everybody is okay. For the University of Victoria, Sierra Gillis, I think she was in the RCDA, Rugby Canada Development Academy. She's a West Shore girl. Unfortunately, suffered a knee injury and had to be ruled out for the weekend, but she's here cheering. She's been super supportive since she's been injured a few weeks ago. And we're looking forward to her being back competing. What do you think of Justine having to battle against one of the best players ever?
She's such a class player, and she's so composed all the time, which I really enjoy about her. And she's got one heck of a pass as well. Super accurate.
Mael Reed takes contact, slow getting up, and booming run by number 1, Morgan Warner. Loose play by the Vikes. We were mentioning it earlier, Lauren, that the lighting here is challenging. I can speak from experience. I only dropped it 10 times a half when I played here under the lights, but it's very high lighting, which is more set up for soccer. So both teams' players are going to have to adapt here. That's a great run by local born and raised athlete Marina Skukin. Kristen Norston takes it into contact. Well taken down by Queens. It's easy to read those brilliant yellow jerseys under the lights. So far, it's been all UVic, but Queens is not breaking, and MJ unfortunately drops it.
Yeah, and that's great pressure there from Izzy Page at number 8, coming up and putting pressure on the Vikes.
Well, I don't think this game's disappointing. It's the juggernaut that we expected and been waiting for all day. Well, let's see what Queens has to offer.
Player to watch out here for is Lizzie Gibson, playing at number 7. She has 176 points in the regular season.
Is that it?
That's it. Only that, Robin. 14 tries and 53 conversions.
Sounds like my bowling game. When the bumpers are out, though, of course. Just want to take this time to welcome family, friends, partners, fans from Kingston, Ontario that are watching from home, and all those families from across Canada cheering on the yellow, blue, and red. Maggie Banks goes for her first rumble. Takes 3 to stop her. Magdalene Harvey quick to the breakdown. It'll be dangerous if she finds space. I'm sure Coach Waters will have prepped her team on her former teammate, how dangerous she can be around those breakdowns.
That's great contact there from Norston. She can't quite manage to get out.
Vikes, similar to Queens, look very organized on D. When I was by their practice at the end of the day yesterday, Lauren, it was all they were working on in the last 20 minutes of practice was just dealing with breakdown defense first phase.
Magdalene Harvey just fumbles that one forward a little bit, which is going to give the Vikes scrum down. Just over half.
Talk about home ice advantage and energy. I can see they got the whole Vikes men's team down here supporting, which is wonderful, and a full house. It is loud. Likely one of the first times any of these Vikes women have ever played in their own stadium. It's quite rare. So very exciting time for them. Good push from Queens. And just lost backwards, but Scurfield was there. Good body position to over that ball, but Queens is not rolling over. Good quick ball by Justine. It's good, control the ball. MJ with a bruising tackle. She's not going to drop it again. Strong carry from Carissa Norston. Waldheim, Saskatchewan girl. Just 18 years old. Oh, great tackle and loss, and Megley Harvey's opted for the kick. She's not going to sit still long. She wants to make something happen. She's one of the most dangerous players in the competition. It'll be interesting to see some of these rising stars like Romeo, Summer Blackmore, Carissa Norston, Chrissy Scurfield play against Megley Harvey.
I like that the Vikes here are just taking their time to compose themselves as they're under pressure here in their own end, setting a nice platform.
One thing to note that Coach Brittany Waters has built an entirely female staff of legends. So former Vike Jess Dovain, who has worked with the Castaway Wanderers Women's Premier Program, as well as the Rugby Canada Development Academy, as Chrissy Scurfield boots the ball and takes out a player unintentionally and then puts in a world-class tackle, as we've seen her prominently and dominantly performing on the world stage for Canada recently at the Commonwealth Games, the World Series, and the Rugby Sevens World Cup. At 19 years old, she's turned into one of the most dangerous players in the world. But looks like she might be feeling her own contact.
Penalty awarded there for Queens, and probably just going to...
Magda Lee has the green light. She's going. She's isolated, though. Can she connect? It's a good, strong tackle on the edge. This is the level of the quarterfinal games. Can you imagine Sunday night? This beautiful game is in action next weekend with the U Sports Men's Soccer Championship presented by RBC from the Thompson Rivers University in Kamloops, BC. Only on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca.
Referee's calling a high tackle there. Queens is going to look for a touch.
So a lot of experience in both these sides, both at the collegiate level and the international level. Carmen Isaac has lots of experience coming out of Alberta herself, being involved with the Rugby Canada Development Rugby Canada Development Academy, junior national teams, pathway teams.
I think Megley Harvey has managed to regather possession here.
Maggie Banks with another bruising run. Gets the ball back, but it's out. Or maybe it's not. Lost for it off UVIC. Maggie Banks, I believe, first went on a Maple Leafs tour with the senior women at 14 years old. Was involved in the RCDA for a while as well before deciding to pursue nursing at the University of Queens. She's in her 4th year. She's playing some of the best rugby of her life and enjoying herself. I asked them, Lauren, I don't know if you follow the Queens Women's Instagram page, but I said to her, can you fill me in on these roster announcements? Because if you haven't gone to the Queens Women's Rugby Instagram page, you must. I told her they're starting to get uncomfortable, and what's with that? And she said, well, the problem is we're getting too comfortable with each other, so we're having a lot of fun. But for being an undefeated side this season and how much they smile in practice, it shows that they really have a great culture and a great program.
Bit of a misfire there from Harvey, but they're going to reset here. Some nice structure.
Good pressure from Alexi Push there. Up in the line. Now she's dropped back. Looks like Coach Waters is playing with two people deep defensively. A double sweeper almost.
I believe that's Izzy Page who's broken through the line.
It's a great run. And they are putting Harvey under all kinds of pressure, but I believe the referee is saying not releasing. I was wondering if she was a little early in coming off the line. They're going to go for goal.
Yeah, and I think this decision here is actually in credit to the UVIC defense that they're electing to go for goal here. UVIC's been pressuring Queens, and they keep pushing them backwards, so going for points here is probably the right move for Queens in this moment.
Speaking of Push, her sister Mackenzie Push is playing number 7 tonight too, and has been all over the field. Pretty wonderful to have two sisters in the same program competing together. We spoke about the Premier Sevens Pro League in the U.S. That Lauren's a part of the experts, and Alexi, the back, actually was part of the Headliners women's team along with teammate Kira Peary that won the last two legs of the series last summer, as well as the overall title. And so Alexi and Kira played in some big games and showed that they can compete at the professional level in sevens, and we're looking forward to seeing them compete at the highest level in Canadian collegiate women's rugby.
Yeah, and there's that trusted foot of Lizzie Gibson just putting Queens up by 3 points there off the penalty kick.
Well, you have some of the best female players in the world on the field, and there's no tries on the board 13 minutes in, Lauren. That's a credit to both teams' defense.
Nice deep kick on the restart into some space, making Queens scramble a bit.
Number 15 is well tackled. Jaden Walker well tackled. There's no love lost between these two top programs. The Vikes are working their system, working their phases. Out the back to Push, to Blackmore, to Norston. Tries to get the ball off to Romeo, but is held in the tackle. Zoe Williams driving forward. Just out the back. Good pressure by Queens on the turnover. Egley Harvey under pressure and turns over the ball. Zoe Williams again driving her feet forward. Inside the opposition's 22. UVic just need to hold on to the ball here, control it. Just look at the shape of that yellow defense. They seem so organized and ready to go. There's a reason why they're undefeated this year. Scurfield doing what Scurfield does, is unstoppable. It's great for her to take on Carmen Isaac, but she did not release the ball, Lauren.
Referee's going to give the ball back to them on a high tackle, and MJ goes in for some strong contact.
I never did get the calls right. Well, what I really like about this game so far, there hasn't been many stoppages, which means it exhausting out there for these women, and they have 3 games this weekend if they plan on going all the way to the show.
This is some good pressure by Queens as they manage to steal the ball back.
Great job by number 6, Sabine Sheeran.
I think that's a bit of a high tackle there on Harvey once again. It's been a few of those this game.
I think they're sending a message to the veteran that they're ready for her. They just need to get those tackles safer and lower. The best women's university soccer is on display next weekend with the U Sports Women's Soccer Championship presented by Ocean Group from Laval University in Quebec City, only on cbcsports.ca and CBC Gem. Megley Harvey opts to go to touch. Alexi Push tries to keep it in.
Been really impressed here with the Vikes defense. They've been coming up hard, Robin, and really punishing the Queens players. Izzy Page, number 8, is going to take the throw. The Gaels have a quick chat.
What's interesting, their tactic here, they got Chrissy Scurfield lined up at first receiver, and they got Alexi back. So what they want to do is use line speed in the defense, University of Victoria Vikings, by having the winger at first receiver or attacking first receiver.
The other opportunity that gives too is if Queens does kick with Alexi back there, she can always send a kick return back to the Gaels to look for some territory as well.
It's a great ploy by Coach Waters. Another legendary coach that she has on her roster is Barbara Mervin, University of Western Ontario alumni and former national team 7s and 15s legend and one of the fiercest women to ever play the game. So Brittany's built a strong support group of ex-national team teammates, and they're all developing into class coaches. But what great leadership for these young Vikes women to have 3 successful women leading them in their program. UVIC's on a bit of a tear here with penalties. It's been 3-4 in a row. Experience and cool head of Megley Harvey. She's going to slow things down.
The referee's just going to have a quick chat with Zoe Williams here.
Just giving her a warning, hopefully. Oh, Captain Zoe is rallying her troops, bringing them in, checking for clarity on what they're doing wrong. The crowd is not happy. The good news is they'll be warming up.
Yeah.
Megley Harvey going for touch. And she does just that. It'll be a Queens line out. Again, University of Queens, hailing from Kingston, Ontario. Victoria is a bit of a hub for rugby, and as is Queens.
I don't know if they can hear the crowd here, but they are quite excited about their home team here.
Well, very physical game out of the gates. We are 20 minutes gone. We're playing 35-minute halves because these women will be playing 3 games, and it's been turned over and lost forward. Maggie Banks, after a thundering run up the middle, loses the ball. Things are falling apart here with the skill level as number 1, Morgan Wagner, runs to the sideline. It is hard to hear with this crowd. Be aware of the risks and keep doing the things that you love. Talk to your healthcare provider about meningitis B and learn more at menbeaware.ca.
So Queens is right, actually just over the 22 here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. They just tried to drive the line out there as it came down, and the Vikes managed to counter it. And once again, they're met with quite a physical presence from the Vikes, but they managed to come out with it.
Great momentum by Yellow. They've had a lot of possession in the last 10 minutes, and they've got numbers out wide as the UVIC defense resets. See what Carmen Isaac can do with the ball. Norston tackles her as she moves it, and the ball is stolen by, I believe, Lucy Romeo. Or was it Regan Casey? Likely the flanker, Regan Casey from Ontario. Great job by Norston and Casey. Regan's older brother, Gabriel Casey, that is also University of Victoria Viking, made his senior men's 15s debut last week, upsetting Brazil in Brazil. The bearded man will be cheering his sister on. And likely he will not be as cold as those fans out there with that beard. Solid tackle put in by Mackenzie Push. Flying up in the line is MJ. Magdalene hit again.
And it's a turnover for the Vikes.
Hometown hero Chloe Hill-Hughes. Parents are in the stands.
And there's Romeo.
Lucy Romeo doing what she can do, showing the world that she's got the skills to pay the bills, and she's one of the top finishers, 18 years old.
She is so quick and so dynamic. I got the pleasure of playing with Lucy Romeo last year with a little bit of club stuff going on in the spring, and she is just so fast and so hard to stop with 40 points there in the regular season. And it looks like she's going to hand it off to Lexi Push.
And out on Jaden Walker out wide. Speed burns as Carmen Isaac. Great cross cover, but just not there in time. How about Chloe Hill-Hughes helping with the turnover? Local Victoria girl, Castaway Wonders. I've been watching her for a number of years. She's come through the high school system and worked her way into a starting spot in this quarterfinal match. Her parents do a lot for the game in Victoria, and they'll be cheering loudly. Mackenzie Push with her first attempt at goal.
Lexi Push, right?
Lexi Push, sorry. That's why I have Lauren here to keep me on track. She was putting in extra work yesterday after practice in the most outrageous outfit ever. Makes nice contact, but just pushes it wide. She'll be happy with that kick, but not happy with the outcome. It is the University of Victoria Vikes 5, Queen's University 3. Not reflecting on the screen yet, but we're at 25 minutes gone in the first half. Megaly Harvey kicks deep and right again to MJ, who's going to have a go as hard as she can into contact. The Cowichan Valley kid from just up island that spent her grade 12 year at the RCDA before moving on to the University of Victoria has been a stalwart in the forward pack this season in the Can West Conference. CBC TV is your home for the 2022 Canada Life Vanier Cup from London, Ontario. Catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and of course cbcsports.ca. And unfortunately, fans, I will not be calling those games. I wouldn't know what to talk about. All right.
It's going to be a penalty to Queens as
Again,
Harvey goes
Megley
quick.
Harvey, quick tap. She's going to have to go back to the mark. I have to say, it's nice to see her play again. She is a dangerous player. She was actually commentating at the World Cup last Saturday night, likely from a studio back east. Here comes Maggie Banks having a go. Good chop tackle by Mackenzie Push. Nice and low. They've done their homework on these players. Carissa Norson a bit high there on Carmen Isaac. Yeah.
And the Vikes might find themselves in a little bit of trouble here.
Carissa Norston on the cutback. Didn't get low enough. Is she going to get a warning or is she going to get a card? He's going to the pocket. And Carissa Norston has received a card. Now, in this competition, sports fans, it's a 7-minute sin bin, the second of the day. This may work out for UVic in that it almost helped the University of Guelph win, in that their captain came off the field, came back on, and was a hero. So Norston might be getting some tips from their coaches and making an impact, but that will not be what Coach Waters would be looking for inside their end with the closing minutes of the first half. UVic's been playing two back, so everybody on the line now. Goal line stance. It's a pivotal moment in the game. They go to the back, not straight. Not only will that give them possession in their end for UVic, but it will also wear down the clock, Lauren.
Yeah, it'll be important here to see what Queens responds with. I think Alexi Push will look to get the ball out of UVic's end, but we'll see what they end up doing here.
Magdalene will likely be using her speed to put pressure on that kicker.
Looks like
they're going to go to Scurfield, use their running back up the edge, stay in bounds. And great job by Carmen Isaac to push her out of bounds. Both coaches have done their homework. Another impact player for Queens that's still on the bench is one of Scurfield's friends, also from Canmore, Alberta, is Sophia Taffel, aka Taffel. She was at the RCDA for her grade 12 year and has worked her way into this national championship with the top team in the country. So Queens opts to go to the front of the lineout this time, Lauren. The back of the lineout didn't work for them.
And it's knocked forward there by Queens. It's going to be a UVic ball.
Most importantly for the sin bin, from a UVic aspect, these are all killing the clock. After non-stop action, the hands might be getting cold.
The Vikes are going to look to exit here. They ran it last time, but there's enough space there this time to do the same, so they might opt for the kick on this one.
I think so. No, they're going to use Summer Blackmore. CanWest All-Star gets the ball back. Off Faith Tilly to MJ and lost forward in contact.
Summer Blackmore, what a player she's been this year, and just a really important, playing a really important role against UBC there a few weeks ago in their tie against the Vikes 31-31.
It was one of the most epic sporting moments I've ever witnessed as a fan. I was just on the sideline, and it was like one of the last plays of the game, and UVic had come back 2 tries and were down, and Blackmore picked off a Sho Semanutafa kick inside their 22, caught it with her chin basically, and scored to Kirpiri hit the kick, and they tied the game. I think it was 33-33, and it was the only game that UBC didn't win, essentially, and they tied it. But Summer Blackmore is definitely a big game player. And the Vikes have weathered the storm. They've opted to go fast. I would have likely gone for touch, Lauren, and tried to kill some of that clock, but they have some momentum. They want to score.
Yeah, I think they just need to find a little bit of structure here, get things set, slow things down a little bit, and we know Justine can do that. She's a really strong halfback.
Nice run by Nova Scotia's Faith Tilley. She's one player in the forwards in the Can West that's really impressed me this fall. She's got the makings of a great 15s player and 7s player, and she's still very young. Alexi Push opts for the chip and chase. That's who you want to get it. But just lost. Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
That was a great op, Alexi Push, to send that cross-field kick. And like you said, those are the hands you want to get it in. One of the fastest girls in the country.
Should be getting close to that sin bin here in the next minute or so.
The Vikes are putting Queens under so much pressure, and just time and time again, they're causing a lot of knock-ons. Something that Queens probably isn't very used to. Didn't face a ton of competition this week, except for their last game there in the OUA.
Again, there comes that pressure on Harvey at halfback. Very frustrating day for this world-class player. They have all done their homework. They know who they're playing against. They know who they have to stop. And we'll see how Harvey responds in the second half.
Yeah, and I know that Coach Britt Waters is going to be really happy with the amount of pressure that they're putting on Harvey, because they're just disrupting everything.
University of Victoria, 3 athletes this year, so actually quite a young team. And should be strong for the next few years. Not releasing against Queens, and UVic opt to go quick. Number 4, Faith Tilley, dives at the line just short. MJ looking for a pick and go. Great defense from Yellow. Referee's call, I believe, is going to be a scrum to UVic. I'm not sure what the call was there, Lauren.
I'm not too sure what the call was there either.
Either way, we have a stadium on their feet right now, chanting. There is space off screen to the left with try scorer Lucy Romeo chomping at the bit for the pill. Ball pops out. Quick ball to Summer Blackmore, fighting her way into 2 Gael defenders. UVic is playing quick. Queens is relentless on defense and have turned the ball over again. Penalty Queens. Does Harvey might look to go quick again, or is she going to play slow as we near the halftime here with 15 seconds left?
Yeah, that was some great goal line defense there by Maggie Banks and Izzy Page at number 12 and number 8.
Harvey's going slow, managing the game well, checking with her captain. She opts for touch. Chrissy Skirfield wasn't quite ready. She could have potentially taken that and had to go. Skirfield has had some hard yards this half, offensively, defensively, and much to the relief of Coach Waters and likely Summer Blackmore. Her partner Carissa is back on the field. Most games you wouldn't mind a break, but in this weather, Lauren, you're probably just going to freeze, so
yeah,
staying on is good. Let's see if Carissa will make an impact and hopefully get her tackles lower.
Definitely a player you want on the field and by your side as well with her pace and her defensive abilities.
Advantage to the Gaels as they drive forward. Well managed by the referee.
See that Queens is just taking their time here and slowing down the game a little bit, trying to get some composure back.
It's Magdalene just showing her experience, but I bet you in the second half, if things aren't going quick enough, she's going to try and make something happen and catch some Vikes sleeping. Going back to Norston, Saskatchewan product, multi-sport crossover like Scurfield. Featured in the Premier Sevens this summer at 18 years old. Was tournament MVP the last leg. But was most impressive at 18 years old is she played against a bunch of U.S. Olympians, and her defensive, she had one of the highest tackle counts and one of the fastest GPSs of the entire league. Has been a big part of this UVIC attack, but also defensive line.
There's a strong carry from Maggie Banks going forward with the ball.
Good quick ball by Harvey. Madison Donnelly on the run, offloads to number 15, Jaden Walker down the right side. Harvey coming back the other way. Gaels are gaining some momentum, starting to control the game. It looks like another turnover. It's getting a bit slippery out there. It almost looked like two UVic players took each other out. Well controlled. Alexi Push opting for the foot, but kicks it right to somebody you don't want to, Carmen Isaac. And she's got Chrissy Scurfield, two Alberta stars battling it out. Summer Blackmore with Magdalene. Scurfield gets the best of Harvey, relentless in the tackle, looking for work. Incredible battles out here, and the Vikes steal the ball.
That's great work around the breakdown there.
Scurfield off screen is begging for more oxygen. On the West Coast, when the air is this chilly, it is hard on the lungs, especially when you're working as hard as these women on both sides of the ball. 35 minutes gone. 5-3. They go to the captain.
Big collision. Harvey doesn't look too good there.
No, that's number 6, Sybin Sheeran. I hope she's okay. She just got a whole bunch of Zoe Williams in her face, and they've caused the turnover. Magdalene opting for the line out again. We've seen this before.
A few times.
Again, with the scoring prowess of the Queens, it's a credit to the UVic defense that, as you said, Lauren, that they're going slow.
It'd be nice to see Queens backs just get some ball out in the side channels there and go forward and straight.
That was well tapped back by Lizzie Gibson, the captain. And another penalty for not releasing for the University of Victoria Vikings. I believe it was Chloe Hill Hughes. And they are opting for a line out, Lauren. They have a lot of confidence in their set piece, and they're accurate. We have Cole Pedrick, touch official, also Pacific Pride and Canada Sevens manager coordinator. Hails from Wilcox, Saskatchewan, Notre Dame. It's great to see these Canadian hockey families that are heavy into rugby now. Nice line out. Ball from Harvey. Was going to connect out wide. Madeline Kushner was opted to take it in herself with the blitz defense from the Vikes. Strong tackle again.
Both centers there for the Vikes are just playing phenomenal defense and managing the midfield.
In the distance, you see Faith Tilley, number 4 from Nova Scotia, calling her opposition on defense. I really love what these players are doing, both sides, when they don't have the ball or they're not near the ball.
What an exciting first half.
And that will end the first half. Lauren, coming up in the halftime show, you'll meet some of the U Sport athletes who left a mark on the world this fall and have highlights from the first half. The halftime score is the University of Victoria Vikes 5 and the University of Queen Gaels 3. You're watching U Sports Women's Rugby on CBC. U Sports is a proud member of FISU, the International University Sports Federation. In September, Team Canada participated at the University World Championships in the Orienteering Championship. We're pleased to introduce you to University of Waterloo's Graham Ferrand and his sport.
What is orienteering? Orienteering is comparable to like cross country, but instead of having like your set course, you're given like a map of an area with specific points you need to be going to in a specific order, and the goal is to get through that course as fast as you can. So it's a bunch of running, but you have to be navigating as well. When I was a kid in Hamilton, there's this running program called Adventure Running Kids, run by Don't Get Lost. So my mom signed me up for that, and in part, some of their activities are orienteering, but like for kids. That was always a highlight, and they also offered like kind of weekend races, and then kept going with that. Started kind of pursuing it a bit more seriously. I think it's called the thinking sport because it does require a bit of thinking during the race that I think is a bit more traditionally thought of as like sitting at a table thinking, because like you have a map and you would normally be like at a table planning out your route, but orienteering, you have to be doing that while running through the woods. So I think that's where it gets a bit of that moniker.
You can watch Graham Ferrand race next weekend during the U Sports Cross Country Championships on CBC GEM. U Sports' next international competition is in January during the 2023 World Winter University Games at Lake Placid, New York. And now this message from Lake Placid 2023.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail. where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
This season, catch the best in Atlantic University sport excitement at home or on the go with AUS TV. Soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, hockey, basketball, and more. Tune in at AUSTV.ca. All your favorite university teams showcasing their talents in one place. AUS TV, powered by Bell Alliance. They bring it to the court. They bring it to the field. They bring it to the ice. And now they bring it to you. Presented by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team. This U Sports Championship on CBC is presented by Sport Canada, funding partners of U Sports. Ce reportage est une présentation de Sport Canada, partenaire financier de U Sport.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Welcome back to the fourth and final quarterfinal game of day one of the 2022 University U Sports competition here at the Vikes home. We have Queens and the University of Victoria Vikes going head-to-head 5-3. This is like a baseball game right now, and nobody's hitting. Defense, defense, defense. Lauren, who did you like in that first half?
Yeah, I thought that the Vikes really stepped up, especially on defense in their midfield. Summer Blackmore and Kristen Orston just coming up and absolutely smashing players back. It's been a really big part of their game so far, and it's caused a lot of knock-ons. Robin, we've been saying all game, there's a lot of pressure on Harvey as well. credit to the game plan here to obviously put a world-class player under some heavy pressure, and it's been paying off for the Vikes for sure.
Well, we talked about 3 legendary international women that are coaching the University of Victoria Vikes, and guess what? All 3 of those women played with Harvey, so they know her inside out, and likely they carried some of that knowledge onto their players. Before we get going to this game, head coach Dan Valley for the University of Queens Gaels program just had a baby boy, Steven, and the girls were saying that he was at his first ever rugby game when they won the OUA championship a couple weeks ago, and baby Steven slept in that cup, and he was on a plane yesterday to come to his second game, and that's tonight. So wherever you are, baby Steven, I hope you're warm, and I know the girls will be playing for you tonight. Congratulations to the Valley family.
This is some promising stuff coming out of the gates here for Queens as they take off through a gap.
Summer Blackmore with a strong tackle up the middle. Lauren, what would you be saying as a coach to your Gaels team at halftime in the locker room?
Honestly, Robin, I think it comes back to what we've been saying all day, is just figuring out what your game plan is. And obviously these girls know what their game plan is. They've been prepping for this for a little while now. And so just trusting that process and getting some going forward and recycling the ball and keeping those rucks nice and secure for Harvey to come in and distribute, I think is really important.
And what about Coach Waters and on the other side for the Vikes?
Oh, I think the Vikes just need to keep up the great work that they're doing here on defense when they don't have the ball in hand. And then when they do, staying cool, calm, collected, and moving that ball to their weapons. They've got so much speed out in that back 3 and Norston. I mean, even in the midfield, right, with Summer Blackmore there's weapons all around. So let's just use them and unleash them.
What would you do to unlock some of those threats on either side?
Yeah, I think with the back 3, they need to move that ball quickly. Our distributors need to put it deep into a pocket, probably with Lexi Push just sitting back a little bit, and then distribute and let those players have a go.
Another knock on under pressure, and Lauren, I couldn't agree more. This is likely some of the fastest, most talented U Sport players I've ever seen. On both sides, and the fact that most have been kept off the scoreboard is incredible. My guess is things might open up here in the second half as legs tire. We have Jack Hanratty, the women's sevens new head coach here. He's been watching all the games. Jack has a strong 15s background too, so he's been involved in a lot of these players' development, and he's shaking things up. He recently brought in Tasia Thompson from the University of Calgary Dinos, and he's not afraid to give players opportunities. And, you know, the women's program is rich with talent across the country, so there's a lot of girls here this weekend that are be putting their hand up for both the Olympic 15s team, the Olympic 7s team, as well as the next generation of women's 15s players after this World Cup cycle is done.
MJ there just going into some hard contact. Izzy Page is going to try to disrupt Justine.
Blackmore
at the back.
No options. Comes back. Makes 15 yards. Great maul by, I believe, MJ. Playing the advantage here for UVic is the referee. Going back from around the side of the ruck. Coach Waters must have told them to go quick as Justine goes into contact herself.
Yeah, if you're going to go quick, you're definitely going to want that support with you, so the Vikes are going to want to clean that up just a little bit. Looking for the ball here for Justine.
Well, as strong as this back line is that UVic you've been talking about, how about the girls on the bench? Kira Peary Ella O'Regan, Soleil Brooks, Emerald Mays. They've got so much depth here, as does Ontario. University of Queens women trying to hold the Vikes back.
Yeah, I think the Vikes here, they're going to want to suck those defenders in like they're doing right now for Queens and then spin that ball wide.
Chloe Hill-Hughes with a nice penetrating run, and Alexi Push decides to go herself. And it has been isolated. Great job by the Gaels defense, not releasing. And when you have your two captains, Lizzie Gibson and Maggie Banks, that's not who you want to be running into, Lauren.
Yeah, probably not. Both are really, really strong, powerful players.
Lizzie with the show and go off of Magdalene here. Number 5, Sarah Penman from the Gaels, driving forward. Good ball placement here. Knocked backwards. I'm not sure who has the ball, and it looks like the Vikes have come up with it. We're about a 3-4 phase turnover situation here, and the defense is winning on both sides.
As we were saying earlier, I think just those first receivers on the ball just need to sit back a little bit because they're doing a really great job of sending the forwards through and pulling in the defense, and space is opening up out wide, but they're not using the weapons they have to the outside. Now that could be a credit to some good hard pressure coming from the defense as well. However, if the Vikes here can swing it wide, they've got Lucy Romeo, Chrissy Scurfield, Mile Reed in the back three who could do some damage out wide for sure.
Well, the winner of this game, Lauren, will go on to face the University of Ottawa that defeated UPEI before this game. Laval has already secured their spot in the semifinal, and they will take on Guelph, who upset the University of BC Western Canadian Conference champions at the death in the final play, in the final kick. Norson has the ball. She's thrown it over the top of Maya Reed to Chrissy Scurfield, who rumbles down the edge. Hitting up Mackenzie Push, Alexi's sister. Good control here by UVIC, but again, look at that yellow wall, airtight. Zoe punches through the line. Langford, BC girl.
It looks like Izzy Page there may have just injured her shoulder as she runs off towards the sideline.
Scurfield again, unstoppable, blows through 2 tackles, ball available for Chloe Hill. That's good support by the tight 5 there at UVIC. They're just holding on to the ball. They can hold a few more phases. They might be able to break the yellow wall. Chloe Hill drives in again. Queens discipline, not overcommitting at the rucks. How about Zoe Williams, the captain again? Must be exhausting. Push decides to move it. You got numbers. Maya Reed to Norston with Lucy Romeo outside her. Offloaded to Mael. Numbers out wide. Summer fighting for that position. Again, this Queens defense is class. Lucy throwing the shake and then the bake. Not going to work on Maggie Banks, the veteran. Inch by inch.
This is some outstanding phase play here from the Vikes, but then also to the golden wall. And they're sucking players in here, and you can see that space is starting to open up.
We are just over a meter away from the line. Driving forward is Captain Zoe Williams. The ball has gone wide. Again, well tackled in the centers. Crowd is getting louder. Marina Skukin with a nice offload to Scurfield. Scurfield runs into 3 tacklers. There's yellow players and bodies all over the place. They have an overlap. Number 6, Regan Casey tries to offload to the wing. And I believe it was lost forward, or was it off a Queen's hand? The referee is consulting with touchline official Cole Pedrick. Just a clip here of the power Chrissy Scurfield. I think she needs to try and find space outside, Lauren.
I mean, I think we've been saying that all game long is the space is there to the outside. They just need to use it and trust the process and trust their teammates.
The backs, I think, for UVic and Queens, they're not getting much ball, so they're creeping up a bit, itching for a chance to make an impact. We're on the line here. MJ trying to power over. There goes Captain Zoe Williams. Inches from the line. Can they punch it in? Alexi pushes ready. In behind. They got numbers. Norston just bobbles the ball, sees the line. That's okay. Romeo's there to help her. Well managed by the halfback. And there's Blackmore. Can she stay in? Offloads back to her halfback. Norston's there over, as is Faith Tilley, the second row. And again, look at that gold wall. There's a reason why they're undefeated this fall in the OUA conference. We could maybe pour some tea. Norston outside in with the blitz yellow defense. Chloe with some direct running again. She's had a great game. I'm not sure if UVic have an answer. They're just going to keep fighting, and yellow's going to keep pushing them back. This has got to be phase 400.
So just some outstanding defense here by Queens. Absolutely relentless.
What is going to break? Is it the hands or the defense? There goes Scurfield with an unbelievable catch in the cold. Always putting her body on the line. Zoe Hill-Hughes driving through 5 meters. MJ pick and go. Sent backwards again. I think they need to at least move it out 2 passes, Lauren.
I think 2 would do the trick. Just change the point of direction here. 1.
The pressure is getting to them, as is the cold. It's a hot potato. Maybe a cold potato. And Queens, excellent job. Megalee Harvey sees the space in behind, realizes that UVic was on attack and not set up for counterattack. Great job by Lucy Romeo to get back there and save the day. Slide.
This is just some absolutely outstanding defense here by Queens. They managed to come out of this.
Alexi kicks it and gets it blocked by BC talent Maggie Banks, and has scored to make it 8-5 for the University of Queens. Well, I've said this before, it's like playing Fiji. All the possession, all the phases, Lauren, on their doorstep for 5 minutes. Heads up play by the veteran Magdalene Harvey to put it in behind, force the turnover on the block, and try time Maggie Banks under the post.
And that is the break that Queens was looking for there, to relieve after all of that pressure on their doorstep for I don't know how many phases, Robin. That was just some outstanding defense.
Speaking of forwards kicking goals today, well-rounded players. Lizzie Gibson, OUA All-Star Player of the Year, lining up the kick to move her team from 8-5 to 10-5. But it is still anybody's game. She's going through her process. The hardest kicks sometimes, Lauren, are the easiest.
Yep.
What's going through her head right now?
Well, I hope it's just her process like she's been doing all year. I mean, she's a world-class kicker, similar to her back row partner from last year, Sophie DeGoody, who's just been absolutely outstanding over in New Zealand.
Well, I tell you what, the movie Happy Gilmore, just tap it in, comes to mind for me when I'm in that situation, and she makes no mistake. Under pressure, the crowd is not getting quiet, they're getting louder, which is what these girls need. The beautiful game is in action next weekend with the U Sports Men's Soccer Championship presented by RBC from Thompson Rivers University in Kamloops, BC, only on CBC Gem and cbcsports.ca. Lots of action from coast to coast in the Canadian U Sport competition, football, soccer, cross country, you name it. It's go time now. These incredible athletes, men and women, are competing and trying to pound through their midterms. It's always tough to juggle a varsity workload and a full academic schedule because you have to have at least 3 full credit courses, Lauren, to be able to compete at the varsity level in Canadian sports.
Yeah, I mean, all the credit to these student athletes here who have made it through a pandemic and who are now just absolutely excelling in their sports and with school as well. I remember at Trent University, we just tried to power through as best we could, and it wouldn't be without the support of your teammates and your professors and your mom and dad and rest of your family to make it through times like that.
Another kick in behind by Maggie Harvey, met by the stalwart back rower, Sybin Sheeran. She's all over the field today. She probably stopped about 10 tries on the goal line, but Magdalene on any turnover, they're looking to go quick. Watching their practice yesterday, they actually worked on that for at least 15, 20 minutes, just that transition ball. The best women's university soccer is on display next weekend with the U Sports Women's Soccer Championship presented by Ocean Group Laval University in Quebec City. Only on cbcsports.ca and on CBC Gen.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Vikes respond after getting scored on. I mean, they just had some relentless go-forward ball there, and were knocking on Queen's doorstep for a while. And then Harvey with that great kick deep into the Vikes' end, and then to come out of there with points for Queens. It'll be interesting to see how the Vikes respond now.
Well, Lauren, the Vikes backs have had opportunities. But again, it's been mainly a forwards game, and when the ball comes out, they almost look surprised, and they're being reactive. So they need to be a little more patient and work off that ball. And as I touched on that Ottawa game, just how you got to be ready, you got to be square, you got to have your hands up, and it's just dealing with that pressure, and the pressure is on them right now. But again, they're a young team. Can you imagine these girls year 3, year 4, year 5?
That was a great hit there from number 23 or 22.
Maggie
22.
Banks with another bruising run. Harvey with a quick ball out to the edge.
It's nice effort there from Norriston, try to steal the ball.
Harvey with another quick ball. Queen's tact is definitely to play quick, catch them off guard. Another penalty. We went from 5 minutes of no stoppages to stoppages. So we are 52 minutes, 53 minutes gone. It's a 70-minute game, so we're down to the final 17 minutes. 10-5, Queen's University versus the University of Victoria Vikings. First-ranked Queens, 8th-ranked UVIC. UVIC is certainly not playing like an 8th-ranked team today. Unfortunately, Chloe Hill-Hughes is being helped off the field. And I believe, is it Emerald Mays that's come on for her in the middle of the field? Emerald Mays from Pilot Butte, Saskatchewan is subbed onto the field. The third-year University of Victoria Viking is hungry for the ball, and they've got it to the strike player, Scurfield, who's takes a lot of stopping.
And there's that early ball that we were hoping that the Vikes would get, and credit to Summer Blackmore there, just letting that ball go nice and early and giving Scurfield some time out on the wing to get her legs going.
Well, talking about the depth for UVic, Chloe Hill-Hughes has had her best game all season, getting the start in the quarterfinal. Unfortunately, having to limp off the field, but then you sub on Emerald Meza, and here we go. The little jack in the box, number 9, Justine Blas-Jamais, charging down the blind, putting her team on the doorstep of the gold.
Such a smart and talented player.
UVic desperate to convert. The crowd is edging them on. Good form. She has lost control. I was going to say some great work by Coach Barbara Mervin. That is definitely her end of the field. She's done an excellent job with that young forward pack this year, but they've unfortunately turned over the ball as Harvey sends it down to the 40-meter line. Be aware of the risk. Keep doing the things that you love. Talk to your healthcare provider about meningitis B and learn more at menbeaware.ca. Lauren, they always said I had a face for radio, so I found my calling. Lauren unfortunately has to put up with me 5 to 8 days a week as we coach together on Vancouver Island.
One too many.
One too many. We have a lot of talented young women on the field here today, and a lot of talented women in New Zealand that are going to be going to war against England to upset in the World Cup semifinal. Queen Gaels legend Sophie DeGoody, who's also a Victoria girl, is captaining Canada over there. I know she'll be watching whatever time in the day or night it is. She'll be cheering on her teammates and her friends.
And I think the Vikes here are setting up. It looks like Norson's getting in a position, ready to run. We'll see if they use her. Lucy Romeo waiting for the ball out wide.
Another knock on. It's going to be Harvey Ball. Earlier today, Guelph upsetting UBC at the death, as said. Guelph Griffin legend Julia Schell is also in New Zealand, probably watching on and sending love to Colette McCauley, the head coach of that program. Full credit to the Thunderbirds for an incredible season. Cam West, Coach of the Year again. Dean Merton did an outstanding job with this program. But always when you meet up with teams that you don't play regularly, upsets can happen. And credit to the Guelph for playing a full 70 minutes on the day. Another turnover ball, Lauren.
Been a lot of those this game, Robin.
UVic trying to play quick. Number 22, Shea Ogerick, out the back, just missing under pressure. Queens is flying up on defense, and I think it's adding a layer of pressure to this UVic backline that they're not used to. Well, MJ normally smashes up, decides to pivot and rip it out wide. We have an overlap. Maëlle Reid, the veteran, on the edge.
And just look at the space out there wide. It's not quite on the screen, but Lucy Romeo, she's got about a good third of the field there in front of her without any goal defenders if the Vikes could find a way to get her the ball.
Marina Skukin with another solid run, gets the ball back, but not going far. I got to say, Justine has really stepped up this game. What they need, Lauren, is maybe Kira Peary, the veteran. She is consistently clutch in these big games, and if she gets any minutes out there, she'll help calm the nerves of this younger back line. Here we are, 5 meters out, 10-5, home ice advantage, crowd fired up.
Emerald Maid's going to take it in here. She's
there
so
goes
powerful.
The Pilot Butte Buffalo bashing it in, unfortunately held up. What can you tell me about Emerald Mays? Lauren, you got to play with her this summer in the Premier Sevens with the opposing experts.
Oh man, she is such a fun player to play with on the field and off the field. She's a ride as well. She's one of those girls who just gets so hyped up before the game, and it's going to bring that energy and that power every time you go out there. She absolutely smashes her opponents on defense, and she's quite a steppy player as well.
Well, in her younger years, she started playing senior women's at 14 years old and was dominant back then. She was like a wing fly half, and now she's worked her way into the front row and flanker, so she's a complete package. Here comes number 22, Shea Ogerek. I apologize if I don't get the pronunciation right. This is my 4th game of the day, and the Vikes are starving me a coffee here on the ground. Good hands by Ella O'Regan, local Victoria star and Canada Sevens player. Not a bad girl to bring on in the 60th minute. And I'm not sure if it's Alexi Push. That is not getting up, unfortunately. Lost again by UVic on the doorstep. You just can't afford, Lauren, to turn over the ball that many times in the danger zone.
Yeah, and Meglee Harvey's just going to, again, bring that ball into her hands and control it here and send it out of bounds to relieve some pressure for Queens.
So we have 61 minutes gone and 2 tries. I think the Ice Bass will be games.
Absolutely.
CBC TV is your home for the 2022 Canada Life Vanier Cup from London, Ontario. Catch the best in university football action Saturday, November 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on CBC TV, CBC Gem, and of course CBCSports.ca. This ref has done a good job of controlling the game, but unfortunately he's the bearer of bad news often.
I think the Vikes here, like, they've had so much possession. It's just they keep giving up silly penalties here and really just losing ball that they should have going forward.
Again, it's Norston in behind. Are they going to slip her through the middle? Out the back, Norston goes. Can she connect? She can connect. Scurfield just pushes it forward. Lucy Romeo being pushed to touch, but uses that lower body strength. Good ball by Justine. These Vikes have a lot of room out wide. They have 3 girls out wide. Can they use them? They're going to crash it up again. Summers calling for the ball out of pitcher. Out it goes to Blackmore. I'm sorry, Ella O'Regan. Justine again with quick ball. There goes Norston. Can she break free? Ankle tapped by number 6, Sybin Sheeran, who's been, again, all over the park. Not a lot of room out there, Lauren. Good ball by, here we go, Lucy Romeo. Can she do it?
And she has.
Yes, she can, Lucy Romeo. The star, her second try of the performance, get her the ball early and often, and she's going to make them pay. This young UVic team lacks in experience, but makes up for an energy and pace.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've been saying all game is Lucy Romeo has been out on the wing and they just haven't quite got her the ball or managed to string it together. So it was great to get her the ball, and then look what happens when she gets the ball in her hand. That's a 2-2 for Romeo this game.
For those fans out there, Lucy Romeo is 18 years old. You'll likely be seeing her on the world stage in the next year playing for Canada.
She's a funny player. You talked to her off the field, and I was asking her, oh, are you going to try out for PR7s here and sometime soon? And she's like, Lauren, I'm only 17. I'm only 18. She reminds me.
I tell you what, if McGraw once told me enough, you're good enough. If you're big, if you're small, if you're good enough, doesn't matter how big you are. So I would have a few years ago. Here we go, number 8. They brought in the big boot for the big kick. We are a tie game, and it just doesn't have the toe. What they need is the foot of Kira Peary, who has been a stone cold killer when she's been on field kicking for goal. That's a tough ask for the 8th woman after about 3,000 pick and goes today and 100 tackles. These are not actual stats.
Disclaimer.
10-10. This is our 4th game. This is our 4th game we're calling of the day, Lauren. We might be here till midnight or longer. The lights are on.
I was about to ask because we haven't been given the rule book for sure, so I'm not too sure what.
There's Emerald Mays trying to offload it to the try scorer, Lucy Romeo. Again, what's most impressive about her is not just her finishing, but the fact that she's been run out of bounds. You kept looking at that big Zoe Williams, crashing in. Where's the space?
Oh, and Norston's out there. She's looking for it.
Look at Ella O'Regan with the offload. Norston and Scurfield. Empty net out the right side. What do you do?
Now I know who I'd be giving it to.
It's a bit out of range for goal. And who would you be giving it to?
2 out wide there.
Zoe Williams, the captain, again leading from the front, sucking in goal defenders. They need to hold on to the ball here with 3 minutes left. It's a 70-minute game here at the U Sport National Championship with 3 games in 4 or 5 days.
And the Gaels are going to get this ball. UVIC not releasing there at the breakdown.
That's a missed opportunity in contact. A great run earlier by Ella O'Regan off the bench. She's also played 7s for Canada, local Victoria girl. Her dad, Mark O'Regan, is a Vikes alumni and Canada 7s alumni. So obviously she gets it from her mom. But no, I think both parents are very athletic. She's got a younger sister coming up through as well. And her dad's a big coach locally in Victoria at the youth level. So great rugby family. It's great to see her on the field. Would you imagine having a 7s international on the bench at a national championship? And Scurfield says, I want to have a go. She needs to get that ball back. Maggie Banks says, thank you very much. The ball's getting sloppy. As much as UVic is desperate to score, you got to hold on to that pill first. You got to be patient, especially against that Queens defense. That's pace. Ella O'Regan to Blackmore to Scurfield.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked forward. Great effort there by Chrissy Scurfield, though, diving for that ball.
How many times does Scurfield have to lay out for one? We're getting messages here from Avi Sharabi, UVic alumni, cheering on from home. her former team. Lots of messages coming through from alumni, coaches, family, friends from across Canada. The great Mark Bryant, the biggest supporter of rugby in Canada. Hello, Mark. And how about these facilities in November on Vancouver Island, Lauren? The University of Victoria Vikes grounds crew have done an impeccable job of making this all happen.
Yeah, the conditions out here are just great, especially for the time of year.
Carissa on Carmen Isaac. There's a great battle. Two girls that would be great to see in a Canadian shirt in the coming years playing together, but it's great to see them challenging each other in this competition. Let's see if Queens can string some phases together. Queens as well has space outside on the left, but they have to get around Scurfield. Again, another knock-on. Frustrating times for both teams. Frustrating times for both coaches. We are in extra time. Probably some injury time in there too, Lauren.
Yeah, for sure.
This is one of those times I'm thankful that I am washed up and in a heated booth, screaming at my favorite players in yellow and blue. Both teams, so much talent. How about these fans tonight?
Yeah, they've been so supportive here of their Vikes as they go forward.
There goes Mayael Reed. Bruising run, the fullback up the edge. Her family has been here all day watching all the other teams, which is great. On the far side there.
Definitely going to want to take care of that ball in these dying moments of the game.
Yeah, it's getting a bit loose as bodies are wearing and hands are likely freezing. I have to give it to these girls. The standard has not dropped. Like, this is an exceptional standard of rugby, both offensive, defensively, tactically, and pace for the entire 70-plus minutes tonight. Just tells you how fit these young women are.
Lizzie Gibson saying, please kick for touch. We want to end this half.
Magdalene Harvey kicks it into the 22 for UVic. Game is on the line, 10-10. UVic have to defend their hearts out. Queens have to find a solution to crack the blue wall. The only try Queens has scored is off Maggie Banks's block kick and finish. Amazing individual effort by the inside center, fourth-year nursing student from Coquitlam, BC. Talk about pedigree. Much like Sophie DeGoody, both her parents have played for Canada. I've watched both of them play for Canada. I actually got to play with her dad one game. I just hid behind him for 80 minutes.
And this is the time for that relentless UVic defense that they've brought all game long.
They have space. Nice tackle by Norston again. Back on feet. The blue wall looks good. Contesting, look at that competition at the breakdown. But the Gaels are there with numbers and control the ball. They're playing quick. That's a strong run by, I believe, Maggie Banks again. I would not want to stop Maggie Banks. It's a good tackle right there by Victoria star Marina Skukin. Magdalene goes left. Oh, great tackle on Madeline Kushner. Another tackle by Scurfield. The Canmore beast. Scurfield is completely gassed. For a winger, she's put in a lot of miles. That's an elbow first contact. And might be a turnover. Nope, they've got the ball back. Maggie Banks is slow to get off the ground. Norston, again, quick up on the loose ball. Going backwards, Lucy Romeo smashes Magdalene Harvey and up again to make another tackle. Like you said, Lauren, these girls are up for the task, this young UVic team. Blackmore in her face. How about this defense?
Yeah, this defense is incredible, and I mean, like, kudos to Queens as well for being able to keep this ball alive here. We've been going on for, what, Robin? A good 2 or 3 minutes here of extra play.
We got to be close to 80-minute game here, and that looks like it was almost forward.
It did look like it got knocked
from
forward a
our
little
angle,
bit.
But we don't always get it right from the nosebleeds. Again, look at that shape from Queens. They look organized in the 300th phase. Look at that. Blackmore's, oh, she took a risk. Maggie Banks connects. UVic is broken. Can they reorganize?
Both teams just exhausted here, but still putting up such a great fight.
I would like to see this go into overtime, but I'm not on the field. I just feel this game deserves it, but Queens is not giving up. If you hold on to the ball that long, you deserve to go to a semifinal. Playing the advantage for Queens. Are they going to get around Romeo? I don't think so. You have Norston on the inside, contesting at the ruck, back on her feet. It's out.
Queens also has the advantage right now, I believe.
Nice little run by Emily Butterworth off the bench, number 20. Marina Skukin putting in another tackle, number 5. Harvey, who's likely one of the fittest players in the world, is exhausted at the mile she's logged today. Is it still the advantage, Lauren? It is.
Yeah, Summer Blackmore there, just a little too quick up off the line.
They're going for goal, Lauren. That is likely curtains for UVic if they take a shot for goal. Harvey has given the tee to her captain, Lizzie Page. She has
Lizzie Gibson.
Sorry, yeah. Lizzie Gibson.
What a game this has been. Absolutely relentless defense both ways.
The Vikes crowd is sounding like a European crowd. But I don't think Lizzie will be taken off track here. She is a class player and a class goal kicker. And this is what you practice for. What an inspiring game for all those young girls at home watching. And congratulations to the University of Queen Gaels women for sticking into that game, but most importantly, working phase after phase after phase after phase. We are close to 10 minutes into overtime, or extra time, I should say, and great job by the University of Victoria Vikes for battling all the way. The majority of these players, first, second, third year, Lauren, can you imagine this team next year and the year after coming back at these championships?
Yeah, what a strong performance by both sides, but the Vikes just absolutely punishing on defense today. Credit to them. It's not the outcome they want, but I mean, we talk about going through the process, and I mean, I think they did a lot of things right today, and like you said, Robin, it's going to be exciting for them moving forward.
Well, I got my money's worth tonight, Lauren. What a beautiful game. What a display of class, talent across Canada, and it lived up to its expectation. In the end, the Queen Gaels women win 13-10 over the host, University of Victoria, and we'll be back for the Nike Player of the Game after a quick break. Please don't go away, sports fans.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
All right, we're back. Lauren, how are you feeling after that match? Are you stressed out or are you relieved?
Oh man, I think my adrenaline's finally coming down from watching all of that. I can tell you, I would not have wanted to be one of those players out there in that game today. There were some absolutely punishing hits delivered both ways. The defense from both gold and blue today was just absolutely outstanding. I don't think I've watched a more exciting game of university rugby as these two went head to head.
I got to tell you, I've watched some rugby in my day, and that was one of the best games I've ever seen. I know there's talent across Canada, and I've seen it in all 4 matches today. It was such a pleasure to be calling these games and to see some of this talent from across Canada. Kudos to Queens and Dan Valley. They got it done for his baby boy, Stephen. Stephen is 2 for 2 for wins, an OUA Cup Final Championship, and a quarterfinal win over the host, University of Victoria. Who really impressed you today with Queens?
Oh man, with Queens, I would say the fly half, Maggie. Oh, what's Maggie's last name, Robin? Number 10, Maggie Kushner and Maggie Banks together as that 10-12 combo. Maggie Banks just running some absolutely just powerful, really dynamic lines, giving Queens that go forward, and then the leadership coming from Lizzie Gibson, Megley Harvey, Izzy Page making some great runs as well.
Well, what I really liked was the matchups. You know, the Norstons versus Carmen Isaac, similar profile, speed, power, pace. Seeing Romeo have a go. And then, you know, what was super special was Justine, the halfback, battling against Megley Harvey. You know, likely going against one of her former or current heroes and stepping up and putting her under pressure. Kudos to the coaches. They've all done their homework, and they all put out good performances today. What's Queens going to have to do to get over Ottawa here on Friday?
Yeah, I think that Queens is going to have to keep up that pressure that they demonstrated here tonight. I think really what we've been complimenting all game long here is both sides' defensive structures and just will to come up off the line. But I think if they can continue that through, it'll shut down that Ottawa forward pack, which was really impressive there in their game, Robin.
Yeah, I agree. I was waiting for a team to break, and I don't think either team really broke.
No.
You know, and in the end, there was 3 tries scored in 23 points. So really impressive defense. I hate to be this guy, but rugby was the winner today. The fans were spoiled to a great crowd. And now it's time for the Nike Player of the Game. I couldn't give you one, Lauren, either side. You know,
No.
Talking to Dan Valley yesterday at his practice, I said, how would you define the Queen Gaels? And he just said family. And you could see the joy when he ran out at halftime. You pointed out he was smiling at halftime, and he was smiling right after that win, and he was just looking at his girls so proud. Pure class. And then I asked Brittany Waters the same thing and what their focus is this year, and their biggest thing is values and trust, and they trusted each other all year. And congratulations to 18-year-old Lucy Romeo for the Nike Player of the Match. And who's going to be it for Queens?
I don't think I can pick one, Robin. They stuck together as a family today.
Can I write it down? Can I write down my guess?
Sure.
And I was right. Maggie Banks, Coquitlam, BC, hometown girl, just across the water, but went to school on Vancouver Island. Her parents, obviously getting to see her in person back on the coast here is great for them because She spent the last 4 years in Kingston, Ontario. Very proud. To all the fans across Canada, cheering on all the teams. Just want to give you a big thank you for tuning in and supporting these incredible women that put on a display. And to all those teams that didn't make it all the way to the finals, we look forward to seeing you next year. We'll see you on Friday for the Cup semifinals and the Consolation semifinals. On behalf of Lauren Bonds and myself, U Sports and CBC.ca, thank you very much.
U Sports on CBC, presented by Les Championnats U Sport, une présentation de Fox 40, title partner of the U Sports Coach of the Year Awards, fier partenaire des prix des entraîneurs de l'année U Sport, Veraburn Medical Supply, exclusive sports medicine and medical supply partner of U Sports, le partenaire exclusif de U Sport en matière de médecine sportive et des fournitures médicales, Nike Team, exclusive performance apparel provider, Just Do It, fier partenaire de U Sport, faites-le. Baron, exclusive championship rings and recognition jewelry provider to U Sports, le fournisseur officiel des bagues et bijoux commémoratifs des championnats U Sport. Sport Canada, funding partners of U Sports. Sport Canada, partenaire financier de U Sport.